sea. That's right, with our friends from Australis. We're talking about the Barramundi Seabass with garlic butter. This is new to us here at the Q. Only been with us for a few weeks here, and this featured price of $115.50 and 4 easy payments of $28.88 are going to bring home 8 6-ounce beautiful sea bass fillets. You're also getting 2 3.5-ounce roasted garlic butter containers that they're so famous for, and it is absolutely delicious. There is your entire package that you're seeing on the screen right now. Just a stunning, delicious piece of fish. You also have this opportunity to bring it home on auto delivery and lock that in for every 60 days for 1 year. Now, those 4 easy payments of $28.88 will go away at the end of the day. So that is an amazing offer to lock that in right now. If you were thinking about, perhaps maybe bringing in a new kind of protein into your diet, because these beautiful fillets are light, flaky, meaty, a real versatile kind of fish. You can do so many different things with this. Regardless of how you're going to cook it, it's going to be really, really yummy and delicious. I'm not even like a big fish fan. There are only certain fishes that I like in the sea, and this one is absolutely one of them because it has that light sort of flavor, and it's not just like, it doesn't feel like you're eating the ocean with every bite, which I'm really not about. I'm going to bring in our very special guest, Nicole Gaffney, Chef Nicole Gaffney, who's going to tell us even more about these. Hi, Chef.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me on your show tonight. It's a pleasure.
You bet. I mean, I actually had the pleasure of trying these the other day here in studio, and I was like, this is delicious.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that you're not typically a fan of fish, but you're a fan of this fish. And we hear that from so many of our customers over and over again. That's why I always call this like a great starter fish, or the fish for people who think that they don't like fish.
Right, exactly. It's so true.
Let's get to so let's start at the beginning, right? Like, who is Australis? So we're a sustainable seafood company, and we're also known as the Better Fish. You can learn more about us at thebetterfish.com, but we're called the Better Fish because it's better tasting, it's better for you, and it's better for the planet. And that's because it's 100% traceable. What that means is we have control over the fish from the time they're teeny tiny little minnows all the way up until harvest. So we're making sure every single step of the way that you're going to get the best fish possible on your plate. So what that results in is a fish that is not just 100% traceable, but sustainable. It's packed with protein, loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which is so important for our brain health and cardiovascular health. And not all fish are created equal. Not all fish have omega-3s. And it has 0 mercury. And get this, half the calories of salmon.
What?
So, I mean, come on, name a better fish. Like, try me.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And it also has like this really mild, buttery flavor and this nice, meaty texture. I like to say it's like the Goldilocks of fish in terms of texture, because it's not too flimsy. It's not going to fall apart like a Dover sole or a flounder, where if you cook it like a second too long, it's just going to turn to mush. But it's also not going to be your swordfish, your tuna, something that's like a piece of steak. It's right in the middle. It's just right, just like Goldilocks legs.
Exactly. That is so cool. I didn't know the story of how you guys sort of raise these fish, and you know exactly what they're eating, you know exactly what's going in, and you know exactly what you're able to deliver to the customer. That makes all the difference in the world.
It really does. Something I love to stress to people, because I've been in the seafood industry my whole life, really. So I grew up in a family of commercial fishermen, and as a chef, seafood has always been my specialty. So it's something that's always been near and dear to my heart, and something that I'm really well educated in. And what I try to tell people all the time is that it doesn't matter if it's fresh or frozen or wild caught or farm raised. The number one thing that you need to be looking at is your source. Whether or not it's a sustainable, high quality source is the top thing that you need to be concerned about when it comes to sourcing fish. I mean, we say know your source when it comes to so many different types of food, but I think when it comes to fish in particular, it is the most important thing.
Absolutely. So Nicole, let me ask you, you literally took you just answered my question. I order these, they come delivered to my house, I open the box, then what?
Exactly. So this is what you're going to find. Once the fish comes out of the water, it's immediately blast frozen. And that's going to lock in the flavor and the freshness and really help to retain just the moisture and the juiciness of the fish. And then it's vacuum sealed. So that also helps to lock everything in. So these will come frozen on dry ice, sticking them in your freezer, and then you have two options when you're ready to eat. You can either defrost them. I like to do it overnight in the refrigerator, but you can also throw them in a bowl of room temperature water and they'll defrost in about 20 minutes. But these can also be cooked from frozen, which is awesome because I don't know about you, but sometimes I come home from a busy day at work and I have to get dinner on the table and I have not thought about anything in advance, even as a chef. Imagine that. We still don't know what to make for dinner half of the time. And I know that I have Barramundi Seabass in my freezer, and without even having to take that 20 minutes to quick defrost it, I know that I can have dinner on the table really quickly. It's going to be nutritious for my family. It's going to taste amazing, like a 5-star white tablecloth fine dining restaurant. And it's going to be nutritious and healthy and so tasty. Everyone's going to love it.
Delicious. You just said it. 5-star, like steakhouse quality, best seafood restaurant ever. Now, these actually end up equaling to be less than $14.50 a fillet, which, trust me, you're going to pay a lot more for this style of fish at one of those fancy pants restaurants. But I have to ask you, well, and I'm just being told that there are fewer than 200 to go around as well. Actually, about 175 left. So hurry on that one. They're already going like super fast, just getting the updates constantly. If I'm putting them in the freezer, what's the freezer life like in there?
These will keep in your freezer for an entire year. So there's really no excuse. I mean, you will get to them quickly, I promise. We're in Lent season right now. A lot of people are doing that fish on Fridays, of course. But coming to summer and grilling season, there's plenty of opportunities to enjoy these, but I just think of them as like a resource to keep in the freezer. It's for those nights when you just don't know what else to cook, when you don't feel like stopping at the grocery store on your way home. You just know that you have something really good in your refrigerator, or your freezer, that you can take out and you can cook really, really easily and have just such a delicious dinner on your table. So they come with these roasted garlic herb butters. And I want to show you what I'm doing in the pan here because it's so simple and it's so tasty. So all I did was season this with salt and pepper on both sides. And when you saute in a pan like this, you do want to do it defrosted. You don't want to put a frozen piece of fish in hot oil. It's not going to be pretty.
Bad news.
So have it defrosted, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and then I just let it sear for a little bit, flip it to the other side. And then once I flip it, that's when I add in a nice big dollop of that butter. And then I take it, and once the butter melts, you kind of do this little basty-based thing. It looks very chefy and cool. It
does.
All over. But it really helps to infuse the fish with all of that beautiful butter flavor. And because it has the roasted garlic and some herbs and some lemon already in there, you don't really need anything else. Like, I have some extra fresh lemon because I always love lots of lemon on my fish.
Same.
A little bit of chopped parsley or some fresh herbs. I have some cherry tomatoes. Whatever you have lying around in the house, you can add to this. And it's going to be so good because the fish itself is always going to come out succulent and juicy. You don't have to really stress about when it's done or how long it's taking to cook, because even if this cooks a couple minutes longer than you want it to, it's still going to be nice and juicy because that's just the integrity of this fish. It's really hard to mess up. It's why I love it so much. And I have another idea for you here too. I think we actually talked about this the last time I was on with the flavor barramundi.
Yeah.
But of making these tinfoil packets. I remembered we talked about that.
Totally.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna make one. So all I did is put the sea bass on a piece of tinfoil, a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, a couple slices of lemon. You can throw some herbs on if you want. A couple of dollops of that butter.
Yes.
The more better.
More butter.
And then just, fold that up into a nice little pouch. And you can either bake that in the oven or you can throw that on the grill too. And what's cool about that method is that you do not have to defrost the fish first. You can do that right from frozen and it's going to come out beautiful.
Oh, that's a great call. I mean, as we're moving into our spring and summer months, and we might these might just still be living in the freezer come those warmer months, and we're grilling out right now. You just make that little foil boat and just do that right frozen, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, and they're fun too. Like if you're having people over, like kids love them. They get to just sort of like unwrap their own little package, their little present at the dinner table. Yeah, it's a fun way to get them to eat like healthier food,
Definitely so much better than a hot dog. Although I do love a hot dog.
Of course. I mean, hey, who doesn't?
All right.
There's a time and place for everything.
It's so true. But you're getting 8 of these 6-ounce Barramundi Seabass fillets with this garlic butter for this awesome featured price of $115.50. 4 easy payments of $28.88. Those 4 easy payments will go away at the end of the day. You can lock this in at auto delivery, getting this delivered every 60 days for 1 year. And those fillets are $14.50 $2.40 each, which is amazing because they are delicious. They're meaty, they are high in protein, and as Nicole and I were saying, they are oh so good. Talk about a really special dinner when you get to make some sea bass and impress all your friends. An amazing way to get in lots of those beautiful, amazing health benefits as well. This is item M90639. Nicole, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Take care. See you later.
See you soon. Oh, certainly want to get some of those sea bass. Well, you know what